And as you know, we've been making great progress on our work to transform Disney's Animal Kingdom into a park that offers a full day of fun. As we've already announced, we're creating a new nighttime spectacular. And we're anchoring the all-day experience with an entire land based on the award-winning film Avatar, so that our guests can visit the land of Pandora. Of course, Pandora is a world like no other, and it's a perfect fit at Animal Kingdom. Now, the details that we've shared so far have been received with much enthusiasm, and today we wanted you to be the first to hear more. And here to help do that is the Imagineer who has led the creative team at Animal Kingdom since the very beginning. Please welcome Joe Rohde.
Well, you know, Animal Kingdom is a park that's built around a value system, a place that celebrates the richness, the beauty, the adventure, the intrinsic value of nature itself. But until now, we've really only been able to celebrate half of that story, the half that happens in daylight. Those of us, and there's few of us, who have had the opportunity to be in the park in the evening, know that when the sun sets, the whole pace changes, the whole mood changes, your attitude, your attention to the environment changes around you. So we're not just talking about keeping the park open for a couple more hours. We're looking at how to craft experiences that are going to capture this change in rhythm, this change in spirit that happens in a natural place at night. Now, of course, it's a Disney project, it has to have pixie dust. The pixie dust of Animal Kingdom is the fireflies. And the fireflies are going to host us into this experience of the magic of nature after dark.
You know, Joe, these changes represent the largest expansion in the park's history. It's going to be phenomenal. Why don't you tell our D23 fans just a little bit more about it?
Well, one of the first things we're going to do is extend the Kilimanjaro Safari so that you'll be able to adventure through the African savannah by kind of magically extending the orange glow of sunset indefinitely into the night. We're increasing the population of the animals. We're adding 2 great new species, African wild dogs, which are really cool, hyenas, which I happen to love. They have a bad reputation, but they're great animals. To provide just an even more unforgettable journey as you take off into the darkness on this ride. And then there's Rivers of Light. This is going to be a ceremonial event that happens on our lake at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And it takes the idea of this very special nature of animals that are in this park and turns it into a celebration of life itself. It starts out very simply and very humbly. I'm sure there's going to be people sitting there going, whoa, whoa, really? We're here for like some candles? And then it starts to unfold and grow, and bigger and more elaborate lanterns appear, and then these huge curtains of water and light coming out of the water and animals within them, and ultimately this all takes off into the sky. We're using a combination of light, of fire, of water, the same elements that really make up the core of life on Earth, along with live performers, to create a rich, remarkable experience. And of course, you know, Disney's Animal Kingdom is built around the lives of animals. This transformation with the different sights and sounds, just the same way that the natural world changes. You're going to want to see that in order to experience it fully.
Joe, of course, a key part of Animal Kingdom expansion is the addition of a land that will immerse our guests into the world of Pandora, from, of course, the blockbuster film Avatar. You know, one of the things that makes our work on this project so special is the collaboration with the Oscar-winning team behind the film, James Cameron and John Landau, and the rest of the Lightstorm team.
Yeah, I've been around a long time, and I have to say the collaboration on this project has been truly unique. Maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We have these 2 creative organizations coming together, Lightstorm, which is James Cameron's organization, and Walt Disney Imagineering, both of which embrace this idea of gripping story, stunning visual design, and radical technical innovation with the same kind of enthusiasm, the same level of skill So this combined team has enabled us to create a mega team, like a super team, that allows us to create this really vividly expressive, immersive world. And it's just incredible. You know, you've got the floating mountains, and if you haven't, I invite you to go over and look at them on our model. They're pretty incredible. Giant mountains floating over your head, bioluminescent rainforest all around you, soaring on banshees. We've been working side by side with these guys, with Jim and with John, to make sure that what we do is true to this kind of mythic scale and epic feeling of the planet, of the land of Pandora. And you know, our goal, our combined goal, is really to create we want you to think that it's real. We want you to feel that it's real. And I don't just mean realistic detail. I mean that you walk away with a sense that this thing that happened to you was real, a transformational experience that you will remember for the rest of your life.
You know, Joe, I guess we could stand up here and talk all day about it, but I think everyone would love to hear it directly from the creators of Avatar. Ladies and gentlemen, James Cameron and Jan Landau.
I can't tell you how
Hello,
proud I am.
D23! How you doing?
There's so much to say about this and so little time to say it. And we really want to, we just want you to understand how enthusiastic we are about this. I'm going to turn it over to you guys to just go.
Well, you did a great intro on it. I think the thing that impressed John and I so much when we first got introduced to the idea of this project is these guys are crazy. They're crazier than us. I mean, we thought we were the most ambitious guys out there in terms of trying to do fantasy imagery and create an alternative universe. And we found out that their vision, Joe's vision and that of the other people at Imagineering, so far exceeded our expectations. And we always feel sometimes when we're dealing with big corporations and so on that we have to compromise and we're trying to get it up to a level of mediocrity. When we first heard the pitch of what they wanted to do, we were absolutely blown away. And I think you can see from the model how spectacular it is. But just, oh, by the way, let's tell them the name of this land. It's Pandora, the world of Avatar. That's what it's going to be called. And it is a world.
One of the things that we really found with the movie is that people wanted to go to Pandora. And thanks to you and your team, people are really going to have the ultimate, I believe, immersive themed experience. Because these floating mountains, they frame you in a way like no other land can, and we're going to transport people to this world.
This is an important point, actually. It is Pandora, the world of Avatar. You will not be revisiting great moments of a film. The adventure is yours. It is yours to have on the planet. We are presenting to you a world in which you are going to have your own personal adventures.
Right, and part of those experiences, I think we're going to be offering in one of our attractions. People have heard that we're doing a flying ride. That ride we are calling the Flight of Passage. And I think that's very important because it's something that touches on what all Na'vis have to go through. It's sort of a rite. Do you have what it takes? And this experience is going to allow you to fly across Pandora in a very personalized experience that's unique to you, that you're going to get to experience it firsthand, much the same way Jake did when he learned to fly.
You fly, right? You're like a...
Oh yeah, I love to fly. I love fly helicopters and that sort of thing. Flew down here in a helicopter today. But you feel like you're flying. I mean, the motion-based technology and the film software and the projection technology is so advanced now that you literally feel like you're flying. I know you've heard that before with other rides, but this is on a whole other level.
And we're lucky enough to have Joe Lettieri and the team from Weta, who did the visual effects for Avatar, working with us in collaboration on this project, and we expect it to have that same quality.
There is another ride, of course. You can imagine that this flying ride is going to be pretty physical, pretty demanding, sort of in the thrill ride category, even though it's very scenic, it's very beautiful, it's very emotional. We want to make sure that everyone who comes to this world of Pandora experiences the full range of what it has to offer. The other ride the water-based ride is this very fluid, very romantic, very lyrical journey into the bioluminescent forest, which, because of where it is on the planet, is in a permanent state of bioluminescence. You can always visit it. It will always be glowing. It will always go off forever. There's animals in there. There's a whole experience that you have. And that experience is deliberately designed to allow the entire family to experience it, to be something that's just really beautiful, really lyrical, really emotional. We do have a video, a little making of video. We'll run that, take a look at what we've been up to, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Let's get on the back. Put into really recreating Pandora. He and his team really have dedicated themselves to going back with a lot of the research we did to make the movie, to invest that in the land. And the other thing about the land is, like in the movie, the land itself becomes bioluminescent at night. So you don't have to just go on the ride, but the world itself will come alive. This point about research, those of you who know Animal Kingdom know that we strive for this level of almost hyper-real detail, because all of our stories are so anchored in animals, and animals are so irrevocably real. Now, when you're watching the film Avatar, for most part, you're watching principal photography. You're watching actors and actresses, well, characters, who are carrying forth the story. And all that beauty, all that richness, all that environment that you believe in is a setting for that action. When we build a world, you are the protagonist, and all of a sudden, a floating mountain that went by for 3 or 4 seconds, you can stand and look at for an hour. And it has to hold up to an hour's worth of scrutiny. And to get that much detail, yes indeed, you have to go back and look at rocks, and look at trees, and look at vines, and look at tribal buildings, and make sure that you are holding up to a level of scrutiny that is like a microscope.
You're respecting the natural world, you know, and that's the thing that I think is such a stroke of genius of locating the land in Animal Kingdom, which is all about a celebration of nature and animals. And this is an opportunity to also celebrate tribal cultures that interact with nature much more than we do in our modern technological society. And it's something that we all yearn for. We all kind of yearn for that connection to nature. We found out something interesting when we released the film and when we first screened the film, is that it wasn't just the kind of the battles and the action that made the film so compelling and made people want to see it over and over. It was something that I think is missing from a lot of films, which is beauty. A sense of immersion and a sense of wanting to be a part of this amazing, beautiful world. There was a sense of wonder. And that's what you and your team have fought so hard to preserve in the land. It's going to be a remarkable experience. You're going to want to sit there and have a picnic. It's not about charging in, and I mean, yes, of course, you can go on the rides and that'll be wonderful, but just walking around is fully immersive. You feel you've gone to Pandora, you feel you're a character in a narrative, and there is storytelling involved. And I think that was what was amazing too, is the level of kind of let's create a narrative. Let's create a thematic story here. It's taking place after the war. The gunships are all down and rusting in the jungle, and it's a celebration of humans being welcomed to Pandora. And that's what you'll feel. You're being welcomed to this wondrous place.
You know, hopefully, like Jake arrived on Pandora and he left with his eyes wide open, that hopefully guests will do the same thing. They will arrive, and this experience of actually being transported to Pandora will open their eyes and they'll look at things a little bit differently.
I think that's right. We want to use this experience of Pandora to remind us of Earth itself. We live on an extraordinary planet. The rationale behind this film is actually to remind us that we live on an extraordinary planet. And all of us together want this experience of Pandora to be something that is not just fantastically exciting, not just thrilling, but meaningful to people. We're making extraordinary progress right now, creating Pandora in the physical world, and we look forward to sharing this special place with you.
You know, that's some exciting stuff. Today's been an exciting day. Tomorrow's an exciting day as well. Somebody has a birthday tomorrow. Mr. Jim Cameron! How about 8,000 people singing happy birthday to Jim Cameron?
To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Jim, happy birthday to you. Jim, 8,000 D23 fans singing you happy birthday. Way to go. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. With Avatar, you created Pandora, a world that people feel a very deep connection to, and a world that for many years we can only experience through film. And as you heard, soon our guests will be able to step foot into this beautiful world that those gentlemen have envisioned. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Rohde, John Landau, Jim Cameron. Now, as you can see, guests visiting our parks here in the U.S. will have amazing new experiences to enjoy when they visit us. But we're also adding new experiences